but I found a love of writing and telling my stories. Sometimes I write down my notes in this notebook. I got a little bit stuck in a place where the characters are at. First time I've ever done one of these and such. Hi friends, and welcome back to the channel. As you guys can see by the title of this video, we are not going to be doing any reading per se, but I am finally making the executive decision to take you guys along writing my debut novel. Now, a little bit of background and such like that. I have been reading actively since 2022. 2023 is when I really got back into reading. But during 2020, I was obviously going through some stuff. Everybody was going through things. But I found a love of writing and telling my stories. So in the later half of high school, I decided that I really kind of wanted to pursue this creative writing thing. And then when I graduated high school, well, technically beforehand, I decided that I wanted to major in English and creative writing, specifically the creative writing aspect and such. And now I have a bachelor's in that degree as well too, along with psychology. One of my dreams has always been to become an author, and specifically a New York Times best-selling author. And I decided that I no longer want to keep this in the dark anymore, and I want to take you guys along with me as I am writing this book. Now, I will say I am going to keep a couple of things hidden, specifically about the genre and such. I'm going to keep things fairly vague in this vlog, and maybe in the next one and such, I will tell you a little bit more about the project as well. But basically what I kind of wanted to do with this one is just do a little introductory thing, kind of get my feet in the water and such of doing writing vlogs and such. And I will not just be writing in this video. I plan on getting inspiration, not just from writing in general, but also from movies and TV shows. And I'll be also doing some reading as well too. I'm not reading anything. Well, technically I am reading something, but I'm reading Needful Things by Stephen King and such. And I'm looking at my TBR, and something about it, I do really want to read a couple of books on my TBR, but I'm not too sure which one specifically will make it into this video and such. But kind of what I'm gonna do after this intro clip and such is I'm going to basically do this thing called a writing sprint, where I basically put on a timer, specifically in stopwatch style, and I basically write for as long as I can, whether or not the motivation stops or I've hit a roadblock and I just need to kind of take some time and not doing it. And if I can't get into a groove, then I will do something else. Specifically, I will maybe grab this notebook, which this notebook is where I keep a lot of my rough ideas and such and sketches for the concept of this book and what I want. Because keep in mind, I'm only in the first draft of this, and from where I'm at in the story, I'm not even halfway through, and my plan is to try and get my first draft done either by May time or June specifically. I want to get it done so that way I can seriously publish it and want to actually get it out into the world, because it's something of mine that one, I never thought that I could do, which I'll get into that a little bit later when I tell you guys a little bit more in depth of why exactly I chose writing, and also why this is also a huge step for me, because I'm just a random internet person that you see on your screen right now. So you don't really know too much about my life and what my journey has been with reading and writing. And I just kind of want to talk about a little bit of that. So after I'm done talking to you here, I'm going to get my work in progress up on the screen, and I'm going to do a little bit of writing sprints. And if I can't get into the groove of the story, then I'm more than likely going to go back to the drawing board and things like that, pretty much. But yeah, I am really, really excited to take you on this journey, because it has been a journey that I have been very scared to admit, like I've told people in my life, they know that I'm writing a book, but this is the first time I'm actively like putting it out into the universe for other people to see and internet strangers to see as well too. And it's kind of like a little piece of myself. I almost feel like Haley Pham with her book as well too, and what she has done with her stuff as well too. Still need to read that book as well too. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you in this intro. Well, actually, more than likely, I might have a little bit of lunch before I do a writing sprint, but we shall see how I'm feeling. I'm gonna get the camera set up and then we're gonna do a writing sprint. Today, it is currently Monday, March 9th and such. I don't have like work today. I have work tomorrow and on Wednesday and such, and I'm not Wednesday, Thursday and such. So I'm just gonna kind of take you through like how my process is, and then maybe I will tease a little bit more about what this work in progress is about. Good afternoon, friends. It is currently Tuesday, the 10th of March, and right now I'm coming with you to say that I am not doing any writing right now, but I'm a part of Ellen Catherine's Patreon, and right now reading sprints are going on, but it just started, and like Ellen's just kind of like talking to us and pretty much updating what's going on in her life as well too. First time I've ever done one of these and such, and specifically what I'm doing right now is like I said, I think near like the, I think I said it in the intro, but I was reading a little bit of Needful Things by Stephen King, and I'm not gonna completely DNF it. I think I'm just gonna put it on pause for now, and what I'm going to do is I am going to read it whenever I feel like it. I'm not gonna put like a date of when like I have to read this by this time or something along that lines, because after Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, it's not because that it was a bad book, but it challenged me so much that I'm just like, what in the world do I even pick up? And I'm thinking, am I getting into a reading slump? Which I hope I'm not, but just in case I do kind of find myself in a reading slump, I'm kind of doing a little thing where I am trying to get myself out of one just in case I do end up being in one specifically. I was going to start rereading The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I have it back here because this was one of my favorite like series that I read when I was first getting back into reading, and I've been wanting to reread it. I don't know if I'm going to reread the whole entire series or if I'm just going to reread the first book. I think I want to reread the entire series and such. I know that's more than likely going to take time, which is fine. I don't mind taking time to like doing this and such, but like I have like my physical copy here when I first read it, and then I also have like some, my gosh, I also have some tabs here along with some highlighters. I think I'm just gonna highlight things and not really like use like pen in them, and I might even tab stuff. Like I might, if I find highlights in the Kindle version that I want to like transfer to the book, then I'll put it there, but like other than that, like I'm gonna try and just like reread it as much as possible because I really did love this story, and I still do love this story, and also I just want to see if I love it as much as I did when I first read it. Like the first book I binged in less than 12 hours. Like I read it in like 11 hours or something along that lines. But this read through, I think I'm going to take my time with and kind of do it at my own pace, however I want to, so that way I can get more of the information that was left, like in the crevices and such like that, to reread the series again. And you know, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I might reread the series, but after the reading sprints are done, I think I'm going to dive back in with some more writing. I think I'm gonna brainstorm a little bit of where I want the story to go from where I stopped writing in yesterday's sprints and such, the writing sprints specifically. So I need to do a little bit of like brainstorming within my notebook for that, but I'm gonna stop talking, and then once the reading sprints kind of start happening and such, I'll take you guys along with me for that, and then I will also take you guys along with me as I do some writing sprints as well too. And maybe I'll talk a little bit, like do like a little bit of a what's it called, a voiceover as I'm doing the reading sprints, but we shall see how I'm feeling, to say the least. But yeah, that's all I got. I will come back to y'all's when the reading sprints are underway, so that way I can start officially rereading the naturals and such. So yeah, I'm excited, honestly. I think this is gonna help me get a little bit out of my potential reading slump, but we shall see, because I feel like I've just been like going and going and going, you know. And even though this week I'm focusing on writing a lot of the time, I still like to have some type of reading in my repertoire and things like that and what I'm doing during the week. So I'm gonna stop talking. So I will see you guys during reading sprints, and also a little bit during writing sprints as well. I'm kind of keeping my voice down because it's a little bit late in the house and such, and some of us have to get up early and such like that, but it's like currently almost about to be like 9:45 and such. And of course, I think I said it in the beginning of this day 3 and such, but obviously, like you guys saw in the previous clips, I started doing a little bit of a writing session, and you guys may have noticed that I have a like teal-esque notebook type of vibe and such. And because the way that I kind of write out my novels and things like that is I have an idea of where I vaguely want to go, and sometimes I write down my notes in this notebook, but a lot of the time I just kind of write and see where it takes me pretty much, you know? And then like once I get the first kind of like draft done, then I can kind of like put it away, like wait for it to be like a month until looking at it again later for like edits and things like that pretty much, you know? But the significance of this teal notebook is because one of my main characters within my book, she loves the color teal and such. It's one of her favorite colors of all time, and I usually try and match it to the main character that I'm working on within the project and such. And I don't know if I'm gonna do any voiceovers and such. I might do some voiceover action and such, but it also might just be music. but I'm still gonna say it and such like that. But I have a project name for like my debut novel and such, but I'm dubbing it as Project Line specifically. There's gonna be some photos popping up on the screen of what the aesthetic is and such, you know, and by the end of the vlog I will tease you on what genre it is specifically, but maybe y'all can guess via the inspiration photos that just ended on the screen pretty much. But I had just gotten to chapter 19 in my book and such, and it's definitely, this is very much going to be a very long first draft. I know a lot of things are going to be cut out and such. I'm just kind of writing to where I want to write specifically and figuring out how I want to do it, what I want to include, and just kind of figuring out where the story is kind of taking me from there. And where I was at, I kind of got a little bit stumped in where I was going to take the storyline from there, because something kind of very dramatic and heartbreaking kind of happened to one of my characters, and she tells her group of friends that she's with, being like, it's okay, I'll be fine, you go do your own thing after this event in which said thing happened. And it's in another character's POV and such, and we are at the events after my female main character getting her heart stomped all over pretty much in the scene that I was just writing pretty much. So that's what you guys saw for today. I might do a little bit more writing, but I also might just go to bed early because the last couple of nights I haven't been sleeping the best, to say the least. So I feel like I need to get at least a little bit of sleep in my repertoire in order to be able to do this a little bit. But tomorrow is going to be Thursday. I have work pretty much all day on Thursday. Then I might take you a little bit with me through maybe like editing for like an hour or so, and then like writing a little bit of my novel in the evening pretty much. But that's all I had for today pretty much. I kind of had a hectic morning this morning, so I wasn't able to record anything for you there, but I did get some work done that wasn't just writing. I got some editing done for the video that's supposed to go up on Sunday the 15th of March pretty much. So I am excited for that and glad that that is almost over with. I have one more clip that I need to like properly edit before I go into the final edits and touch-ups, and then also I gotta do a thumbnail for that as well. I'm still so bad at taking thumbnail photos and remembering to take thumbnail photos in general, because you know this is still a new thing for me. I'm still actively remembering, be like, oh, I gotta get thumbnail or whatever, I gotta get elements for this thumbnail, and like kind of figure out what I'm doing for that. But definitely one of the elements that's going to be added into this video's thumbnail is this little guy, because it tells a lot about the project. Like each project I work on, I assign a specific color based on what the project is about pretty much, you know. And then of course maybe I will reveal what the genre is that I'm working on, but we shall see. But anyways, that's all I have for day 3, and I will see you guys more than likely during day 4. Hi guys, this is a little bit of a new angle. I'm testing it out just to see how I like it. I'm trying to find different angles for my writing sessions, but hi, hello, it's Thursday. It's day 4. It's day 4 this week of the writing vlog. As you guys last saw on Wednesday, I stopped writing a little bit because I got a little bit stuck in a place where the characters are at. It's a huge group of characters now that we've already been introduced to in the book, and they're hanging out, they're having a couple beers or whatever and such like that. And I'm just trying to figure out where to go from there, how to talk about it, if I really want to dive into this too much or leave a little bit of it to the imagination of the reader or whatever. But for right now, I think this is a good place to kind of keep going into the story. So yeah, still working on chapter 19. I am in Spencer's POV and such. So that should tell you a little bit about the nature of this, but I will officially like introduce what genre it is that I am working on when it comes to this novel. But right now it's a group of them, and something happened with Maya beforehand as well, who's the female lead in this book. And Spencer is there with the gang pretty much and what happened. And now I'm just trying to figure out what this gathering is about, why it is important in the first place. So that is pretty much the reasoning why you are getting this angle also specifically as well too. So I'm kind of running out of angles in which I want to like record myself doing these writing sprints. I will say it's like 9 o'clock at night. It's like 9:12 as I'm recording this little update, because I came home today after work with the worst back pain in the entire world that I had to lay on the couch with my heating pad. And then of course, what did I do? I fell asleep. Of course I fell asleep on my heating pad. So I'm gonna be maybe up for a little bit of hours, but thankfully I don't have to work tomorrow. The only thing I really need to work on is editing and maybe finishing up this chapter if it doesn't get done tonight, which I'm kind of going at my own pace when it comes to these writing things, you know, and these writing sprints, because like I said, I can lose interest. I don't really lose interest in this novel, but I lose interest in where I'm at, or specifically I get stuck and I don't know where to go from. So I take breaks pretty much from where I stopped and being like, maybe if I take a break, then I will be able to kind of figure out what's going on with these characters or anything like that. And then this drink is a blueberry lemonade with a little bit of Moscato d'Asti in it, because I wanted to try it. My mom suggested that like Prosecco and like those like type of like wines are really good as like spritzers pretty much. And I've never had a spritzer, so thought I would try it. Very, very good. Anyways, I'm gonna keep you all in that angle, and I'm just going to transition into a writing sprint. We're gonna take my dog out around 9:30-esque, because where we live, coyotes are very present, so we don't like to be outside with Kona for very long, you know, just to keep her safe and to keep us safe as well too. You probably won't see me writing until maybe a little bit after 9:30-esque and such, but yeah, you guys are still gonna be in the same camera spot, and we'll see if I like this angle, and maybe I will do it for more writing sprints, but we shall see. That's all I kind of have, and I'll probably see you guys tomorrow for another talking bit, but for now I'm going to exit off of here and do some writing. Guys, so as I was going to edit this, why is the lighting so bad in this? Anyways, I just turned on my lights and such, but hold on. There we go, that's a lot better and such. So I was going to upload this onto my computer and such like that, and I saw that I did not do an outro for this video. So this is my kind of like little official outro for the writing vlog. I hope you guys did enjoy. I'm still kind of getting used to doing this, honestly. I've mostly been doing like reading and reading vlogs mostly. So this one's just a little bit out of my comfort zone, and I just want to make sure that like everything's kind of semi flowing pretty well, at least. If you guys want to see more, please do let me know. I do plan on taking you guys more into this journey and such like that. What did I do? I did some writing, obviously. I did 3 writing sessions, I believe, and I made pretty good progress and such. I'm in kind of close to the middle of chapter 19 of my book, and I told you guys that I would tell you guys a little bit about kind of like the genre and what my plan is for this book. So this genre that I'm writing for my book, it is a romance novel. Are we shocked? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know though. But I've been teetering with like what genre I want to be my debut genre and such, because my plan, hopefully at least, is to write in multiple genres one day pretty much, but mostly sticking with like romance and things like that. But with this one, you're following these 2 people. Specifically, you're following Maya and Spencer. They were childhood best friends. Then they kind of like something happened between them in middle school pretty much, and they were no longer friends, and then they are brought back together because of something that you will see eventually and such. But yeah, that is pretty much all I want to say on that. Again, thank you guys again for watching. Be sure to like and comment down below as well. If you don't know what to comment down below, tell me if you love childhood friends to lovers type of romances and such. Just let me know, because I know that's something that a lot of people love doing and such. It's something that I've seen a lot of my friends have happen with them pretty much, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, make sure you subscribe, turn on post notifications. I post every Sunday and every other Wednesday, and this will be a lovely Sunday episode. So again, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have an amazing day, week, month, and year. See you later, friends.